everyone, welcome to today's webinar. This is going to be covering 10 things that you can do in Voly in less than 1 minute. My name's Anastasia. I am one of the client trainers here at Voly. Some of you might have met me before, but if not, hi, welcome. Also with me today on our webinar is Joe, who is also going to assist going through the 10 things you can do in Voly today.
Good afternoon, everybody. It's a real pleasure to have you on with us today, the first in our new series of webinar, and we'll have one taking place every fortnight. So my name's Joe, like Anna said, and I work as the implementation coordinator here at Voly. So we in the implementation team look after you in that first phase of your Voly experience. So we make sure everything's set up correctly, and then once you've got cards in hand, we can then hand you over to your dedicated client relationship manager. Like Anna said, we are going to talk you through 10 things you can do on Voly that maybe you didn't know about, or if you're not one of our clients, you wouldn't be aware of. So without further ado, I will hand you over to Anna.
Perfect. Thank you, Joe. So with our platform, once you have completed our onboarding and been able to log into the desktop for the first time, you will be able to set up notifications. Notifications are done on a user level, so we wouldn't be able to sort this out for you. But again, as mentioned, once you've logged in for the first time, here in that top right-hand corner, you will be able to go to your settings, and then you will go to your notifications tab here below. On this page, it will give you the opportunity to highlight which notification email you would like to receive for any events that happen within Voly. This is particularly great if you have an approval process in place, if anything crew have to input goes to captain and captain goes to management and it needs to be checked and people need to be aware with what's going on, we can activate that within the system. So here, as you can see, it's a pretty extensive list to what you can receive notifications for. So I'm not going to read them all out to you today. But again, you've got popular ones that you can pick and choose, and it is really straightforward to turn on. All you have to do is click on the toggle, turning it from no to yes. And again, you can go in and customize it. So if you change your mind and decide you no longer want that notification, you can just come in and change it there. It is all pretty straightforward. And again, as mentioned, it's great for any approval processes in place. And it is also great from a management point of view and fleet management overall. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pass back over to Joe and he's going to take over from there.
So the first thing I'm going to show you is a really useful tool for anybody who manages more than one asset on Voly. So if you're perhaps a family office and you manage more than one boat, this would be great for you, or perhaps you're a larger management company. You might even be a family office that manages different types of assets. So lots of our clients use Voly not just for yachts, but also for perhaps properties and even aircraft. So what I'm going to show you is fleet management. Now, I'll just quickly explain. This allows you to manage suppliers and beneficiaries, so that's bank details for those suppliers, on a fleet level. So whereas in the past you would have had to set up a supplier on those assets individually, you can now do that on a fleet level, and then they can be pushed down to all the assets, which saves you time because you only have to add things once. So let me just show you very quickly how you can do this. So when you're in Voly on the asset list, if you click on management, fleet management over here, you will see that you can create a new fleet. And once you click on there, all you have to do is enter the name and tick the assets that you want in that fleet. So you can see here, I've got multiple fleets. So if I'm a larger management company and I've got 10 boats, I could very easily have 5 on one fleet and 5 on the other. When you're in the fleet, if I click into this one, you can see on the left the assets within that fleet, and you can edit that at any time. And also then here on the right, you can see the fleet suppliers. So all of these suppliers will appear on all of these assets on the left. So I only have to do that once and they're all on there. I'll show you now how easily you can add a new fleet supplier. So if you click into this drop down here by clicking the 3 lines, then into create fleet supplier, you'll just have to enter the mandatory information. So I'm going to write demo supplier 6 because each one has to have a unique name. And I also have to choose the currency. That's mandatory. Now you can see that there's a lot of other information that you can add in here. So all of the contact information for the supplier. But I'd really like to draw your attention to a couple of things in the bottom right corner. So this here, the supplier terms. If you have a supplier and you always have to pay their invoices within a certain period, perhaps 2 weeks, if you write 14 days in there, whenever you or a crew member adds an invoice for that supplier, the due date will default to 2 weeks. So that means there's less risk of you having an overdue invoice. Our clients absolutely love this in the bottom right-hand corner, the email remittance advice. So if I enter an email, I'll use our contact one, hello@voly.co.uk, and tick this box. Every single time a payment is made to that supplier directly from the Voly Money account, the supplier will be emailed remittance advice. So that saves you having to download that yourself. So I'm going to go ahead and create that fleet supplier. Now, you saw how easy that was. That is now going to appear on all of those assets. We can go a step further. If we click on create beneficiary, we can create the beneficiary at that fleet level and add that on all the assets. So once you click on there and then you choose the country, you just need to add the details in here. And I'd really like to draw your attention as well to this third box, the notes, because we're aware that lots of our clients have in place a procedure whereby they check the remittance advice, usually over the phone, to make sure that they are legitimate so that they don't send funds to the wrong account. So if you have that procedure in place, if you think about it, with this fleet management tool, that only has to happen once, so you're reducing the risk of human error. But also in here, you could put a note. So I could write, Joe called supplier and enter the date and explain who I spoke to. I could even attach a file there so that there's also the audit trail on the supplier for who verified those details. So this is certainly a tool that our clients find extremely useful. I'm going to pass back to Anna, who will talk to you about @mentions.
Perfect. Thank you, Joe. So again, piggybacking off of the notes and adding the comments when adding in those fleet suppliers, you can also use @comments throughout the dashboard, throughout the system. So I've come back onto my Voly homepage and scrolled down, and here I have comments. So this is for any transaction, any invoice, anything that needs a second pair of eyes, someone else to look at. The user can add the comment so the next person can see. So as you can see, I have a couple listed here that I've not had a look at yet. But then if I were to add in a comment for an invoice, for example, I would go to the tab, to the section where I need to add the information. Here across the line, you will always be able to add comments at the very end. You'll also be able to see if comments have been added previously or if there is none there, like I'm highlighting here. So on this particular invoice, I can see I have 3 comments added. So again, my captain's asked for something to be checked. An automated comment has been added as well for whenever it goes through our approval process, again, approving or rejected. But then we have the option here now to add in a comment. So then again, let's say, again, I need Joe to have a look at this. I can then tag Joe and then just please review. Again, it's a free text box, so you can type in whatever it is that you'd like. You can, if you want, you can communicate that you want a set standard of how the captains and crew should add the comments. It's completely up to you, but then you'll add that comment there. And then again, piggybacking to our notifications, our users will then, if they have it enabled, to receive an email notification about the comments, and then they'll be able to see it on the home screen as well. Once you have reviewed the comments though, what you can do is you can remove them from view by marking as read, and then that list will be cleared so you can go on it on a daily, weekly basis and analyze the information. Comments also works pretty well in terms of reports and reporting packs, which is what Joe is going to go over next for us today.
Thank you, Anna. Let me just get back on then. So what I'm going to talk to you about now is our brand new report pack, and this has actually just gone live this week. So this, as Anna shown us, is our dashboard. So what I'm going to do is navigate over to the reports tab by using the navigation bar. And when you're in here, you'll see the suite of reports that Voly offers. And this is really one of the main tools for those management users, our administrator users. So this allows you to go in and you're pulling all of the data from all of the transactions across Voly for that asset. So if you think you've got your processed Voly prepaid card transactions, you've got cash transactions, payments made from the Voly Money account, and any external transactions as well that you might have logged. So let's just recap how easily we can do that. So when we're in here, you'll see that list that I can run, and I'm going to go for the balance sheet summary. I'm going to run it for May, and I'm going to choose invoice date. So when I click view report, the system will just pull all of that from the various places on the system. And now Up to now, if we scroll down towards the bottom of this report, you've always been able to download our reports as PDFs and as Excel files and then use them for whatever you need. For example, if you're presenting them then to your client, if you're a family office or a management company, that might be the owner's rep that needs to see them, or an accountant, for example. But you'll now notice we've got our brand new Add to Report Pack button. So if I click that, I'll then be taken straight away to the Report Pack tab, and that's just here. You can also navigate by going just like that and clicking on it. What you're able to do here is you're able to compile a set or a pack of reports that you can download as one single PDF and then send this to whoever needs to see it. Not only that, but you can also add your own PDF files. So here's one I prepared earlier. You can see here at the top, I've added my front page as a PDF file. So I've taken our Volley Group logo, I've added a quick title, and I've uploaded that so that when I download this pack, ready to send to the owner's rep or the accountant, it's going to look really professional. You don't just have the option of the front page, though. You can add as many as you'd like. So I could have equally added a contents page. I could have added perhaps a couple of pages explaining any out-of-budget expenditure. I could even have a sort of closing page, a final page. When you're in the reporting pack, you can move things around within the system. So you can send things to the bottom, move it up and move it down. Then when you're happy, you can just click Download Report Pack here. And when you do that, the system will then run all the reports again to get that latest data. And what you'll download is a PDF that looks just like this. So here I've got that PDF I uploaded, followed by the budget to actual that I'd run. And right at the bottom, I've got that balance sheet summary as well. So this is a really useful tool that allows anybody that pulls report to make a very professional looking report pack directly within the system. I hope you'll think that that's useful. And Anna is now just going to show us through how to copy info to a new invoice.
Perfect. Thank you, Joe. So again, with our system, the whole point of Volley is to make sure that you have that time and energy, again, not only with the accounting, but running the vessel, figuring out what's going on. And again, this new feature is really great, especially with our invoices. So any invoice that has been added into Volley, whether it has been paid or not, has a function to copy and duplicate. So again, this is great for anything you have on repeat, such as fuel, provisions, salaries. All of that can be dealt with in-house. So if I click into my invoice there that has been paid, here at the top, I have the button Copy to New Invoice. Once I click on that button, what will happen is the system will take me to a new invoice page, but it has duplicated all of the key information for me. So my invoice date has provided for today, my suppliers copied through, my amount, my descriptions, the departments. All I would need to do is add in my new invoice number, attach my new invoice document, and then save the invoice if I wanted. But you do also have the opportunity to go in and make any edits. So if the value has changed, the category, anything along those lines, you can go in, make the amendments, update, and then you have the two options to either save it as a draft, which will retain it for yourself until you're ready to submit, or you can save it as an invoice and send it back through the approval chain on your vessel. This will still also work in conjunction with payments within the Voly system, which Joe is going to go through for us today now.
Thanks, Anna. So what I'm going to talk to you about today is our payment platform. Now, we are very well known for our Volley prepaid cards, which you will find on boats all across the world, and you can spend in all of those currencies. But what fewer clients know is that you can also make payments directly from the Volley money account. So when crew, just like Anna's done for us, add an invoice, it will initially go through any necessary approval. So we can nearly always work to any approval flow that you need. And we in the implementation team always check that out as part of setup and get everything sorted. So once it's passed through perhaps purser, captain, and any administrators for approval, it would then go from the approvals tab up here into the invoices page. Now, what you're then able to do is pay your invoice directly from Volley. So if I go down to this invoice for Blue Water Books and Charter, this unpaid invoice, if I just click add payment here, the system will just check which accounts I've got available to make the payment from. And then I can pick my Volley money account just here. So once I've scrolled down past the external account, I could choose the USD account. Now, there's a number of benefits to paying your invoices like this. Firstly, we offer 3 free payment schemes. So this payment I'm making is in dollars and the beneficiary is in the United States. This would go via the Nacha network and that's free of charge. Similarly, if I were making a euro payment in Europe, it would go via SEPA, which is also free. And finally, if I were to make a GBP payment to the United Kingdom, that would go UK faster. And the good news is the system is designed so it will always send your payment free of charge if it can. So if you put those details in, for example, if I were to enter a French IBAN and French SWIFT, it would go SEPA. We do offer SWIFT with a small fee if that's absolutely necessary, but our system is made so that it will send it free if it can. Similarly, by paying directly like this, just like our Voly prepaid cards, the Voly Money account is auto-reconciling. So the alternative to this would be manually logging that payment, recording it from an external account. I'd then go in and make that payment with my external bank. But then at the end of the month, I would need to reconcile that to make sure everything's correct. So I'd have to take the bank statement and reconcile the month's transactions. That time saving is what our clients love, and that's why so many of them pay all their invoices directly from the Voly Money account. A little word on payment security. So the payments are always with a second factor authentication. So you would be sent a WhatsApp code that you'd have to enter to execute that payment. And similarly, Voly money payments are always by default 2 steps. So one person creates that payment and the second person executes and then therefore releases those funds. Some of our clients want that to be one person who can do that, so they don't want that second step. But some of our clients want that to be 3 people involved in that process. So that's 6 I check. And that's something we can also accommodate. So lots of our clients have one person creating, one person approving, and then one person releasing the funds. So we can actually work to nearly all of the payment security protocols that our clients have. Finally, our floats are offered in those 3 currencies of USD, GBP, and Euro, but that does not mean that they're the only currencies you can pay in. In fact, you can pay to over 120 countries direct from the Voly Money account. And what the system will do is, when you go to add that payment, it will tell you the cost in the float currency. So if I were to pay a Canadian dollar payment, for example, it would tell me immediately and very transparently how many US dollars that would cost me. So this is a feature that most of our clients make use of now, but not all of our clients know about. So Anna is just going to now talk us through the new mobile app.
Perfect. Thank you, Joe. So again, we have been focusing heavily on our desktop today, but we do have our new Voly Yachting app where you can do all your card management, transactions, invoices within. So here, as you can see, I do have a demonstration of our mobile app live. You can see my Voly prepaid cards listed here. You can also set it up to see more than one card at a time, and you can swipe across, see the available balances, and then what you can do is click on manage this card. You can view your PIN, suspend the card, and even add and remove funds to the card for yourself and the crew. To be able to view your PIN though, when you click on view PIN, if you haven't enabled the biometrics within the mobile app first, you won't be able to reveal it. But again, if it is that you have it set up on your device, so if it's a fingerprint or a password, when you go into your My Account within the mobile app, you will be able to scroll down to enable biometrics. And then depending on the security you have set up on your phone, that will be how you are able to view the PIN. So I've just turned it all on here for me. So now when I go back to view PIN, it will give me the option to then reveal PIN highlighted down here at the bottom. With this, you can again do it for yourself. At a captain level, if you can see multiple cards, you can see all of the PINs. As well, for security, you can activate and suspend the card within the mobile app too. So when you suspend the card goes from black in the system to white to show that it's no longer being able to be used if it's lost or stolen. And then if you do happen to find the card again, you can reactivate it and it'll be there ready to go. This is also great if you do charter in the Med and the Caribbean. You can isolate the cards across there too. What I'm doing here now is adding funds to my card. So I've clicked on load and unload. I'm able to see my float balance. When I click on the load button, I can type in how much I'd like to add to my card. And then as soon as it is finished loading, that card is now ready to go. It does also work in the reverse. So let's say, again, the card is lost and stolen. A crew member's gone walkabouts with the card when they shouldn't have done. You can come onto the app, click on unload instead, remove all of the available funds off of that card and put it back in that Voly Money wallet for safekeeping. Again, you can do this at any time. It is set up so each user can do some functionality, whether it is the view PIN, but the load and suspending will be permission-based for you all there. With all of this, though, again, if you do have any questions about our mobile app, if something's not quite making sense, you'd like to go in more detail about it, you can get in contact with us via support options, which Joe is going to go over for us now.
Thanks, Anna. So like Anna just said, we hope you're realizing by now that Voly can do a heck of a lot and our clients use it as their accounting hub. So the aim of the game is that absolutely everything is logged on there to do with the operational running of the boat finances wise. And that means that then those reports are the one place that you need to go. You can pull that report and everything's on there. You could even use our brand new report pack feature and add some uploaded files too. But we're very aware that if you're going to be using us for everything, paying those invoices, the cards, all of the other expenditure, we need to make sure that we're there to support you with anything you need. Now, all of our clients have a dedicated client relationship manager, and they are your point of contact here at Voly. You'll have their email, but also our office has a phone number at the bottom of all of our emails, and you can ring and ask to be put through to your client relationship manager. Indeed, your CRM, as we call them, the client relationship manager, will be reaching out to you proactively to make sure that everything's going okay, especially around those moments like med season, Caribbean season, especially if you're using us for charter as well. We also have a shared WhatsApp number, so if you're somebody who prefers WhatsApp, you can send us a message or give us a call on WhatsApp. But our client's favourite method of getting support from us is our live chat. So between the hours of 8:30 in the morning UK time and just before 9 p.m. at night UK time, you'll see our live chat icon just here. If you click that, it will then add the email that you've logged in with. And if I just say, hello, can you help me? You'll see that straight away, it will be sent to my colleagues in the client support team. And you are not, you'll be glad to hear, connected to any kind of AI robot. It's a real person who will pick it up and then ask me if I need any help at all. I can see it's my colleague Olivia in the client support team there. Thank you very much, Liv. If I needed some generic help with the Voly platform, I could just ask Liv and she'd be able to direct me to the user guide, the correct page to save me some time. The user guide's got lots of photos and explains everything in great detail. But similarly, if I had a bit more of a complex question specific to my account, as soon as I've answered a couple of security questions, Liv would be able to help me out as well. So we hope that you, those of you that are existing clients, you feel very supported by us here at Voly, by our client team. But if you're a new client considering coming on board with us, we hope that this has sort of explained to you and shown you that we really do care about providing a great service for our clients. I'm just going to pass back over to Anna to talk about global search.
Perfect. Thank you, Joe. So within the system, again, there are multiple tabs, multiple places that you can go in and input data, whether it is your transactions, your invoices, your suppliers, and sometimes you might not have the time to go through every single tab. So what we've now included here at the top of every page is our global search function. So again, depending on what it is that you're looking for, you can use those keywords to find that transaction, supplier, or invoice for whatever event you're needing to double check. So like what I've just done here is I've searched Amazon and it is now pulling up the most recent transactions I've inputted in the system. So let's say I had an Amazon purchase I want to go in and check, and it was recently. Here at the top, I can click into and it's taken me directly to my transaction. So then I have the opportunity to go in and review it. If there's any amendments, if I wasn't quite sure on something, I can go in and check. And as you can see, even though I've gone to a different page within the system, that search function is still there at the top for me. So I can go and search for another transaction, another invoice, without having to go back to my home page. So it's definitely one when you're very busy to utilize on that day. What we're now going to go over as well, so with the search function, it is also added now to our APA platform, which Joe is going to go in and highlight for us today.
Thank you, Anna. So now that I've shared my screen, hopefully those of you that have been on this webinar will realize that it looks a little bit different to all of the other screens that we've shared with you. So it is bright orange, and that's on purpose because this is our dedicated APA platform, which is there to manage charter those APA funds only. And the vast majority of our clients that do charter use this because it goes hand in hand with the operational. So this, and by the way, there's currently a 6-month free trial for any new clients with APA. So please reach out to us if you are chartering and you weren't aware of this. Basically, the blue Voly that you've seen up to now, the operational, is there to manage the day-to-day operational cost of the boat. whilst the orange APA is just for those APA funds. And that's also reflected in the cards. So the cards are orange and black, actually. And that means that then the crew, whilst it's not unheard of, hopefully wouldn't make any mistakes and put the charter expenditure on the operational cards or vice versa. So this is the dashboard, and there's one key difference that I just want to quickly talk you through. So here on the left, I've got my APA balances. So here I can see for those active charters I've got what the balance is left on those APA funds. So as you can see, I've not done a very good job with this Ford charter because I've overspent by about €9,500, but I'm doing an okay job on the RET charter, just over €200 remaining. So this means that every time you log in, you can check those APA balances and they will appear just there for you. Our APA platform works just the same as operational, but with one key difference. So when you're adding those transactions, just like Anna, you added an invoice earlier, you just need to add an additional tag, which is choosing the charter name. So here you would choose either Ford or RET. We call that the cost center, but essentially you tag that transaction. You're not just choosing the category and saying this is food and beverages. You're saying actually it's food and beverages, but it's also to be taken off that RET APA funds. And then the system will deduct that from the total. What I want to show you is the final product. What's the point in using this software? And here it is. So if you navigate to the reports tab at the top, you'll see that it will default to our APA detail report. And then here you can choose the charter. So you'll have a list of all of the names if you were to go into there. When I click view report, absolutely everything, all of the expenditure to do with this charter is here in one place for me. This means for captains, they love it because it's the end of Excel spreadsheets and the end of rummaging around for receipts at ungodly hours on the last day of a charter. You can see at the top line there, I've got my APA funds in from the CA. As I go down, I've then got the Voly prepaid card expenditure, cash expenditure, and also invoices and any bank fees, perhaps intermediary fees as the money's arrived to us. Down at the bottom, the system calculates for me exactly how much I have by way of APA funds to return. So the system will calculate that all for you. Our clients absolutely love this. And most of our clients that do charter, either private or commercially, do use it. And as we just said, there is that special offer on at the minute. So if you do charter, please get in touch with us. In addition, in a fortnight's time from today, our next webinar will actually be just about the APA platform. So if you're thinking, oh, that sounds interesting, please do go to our website, find our LinkedIn, find our Facebook, and you'll be able to register for that webinar there. Well, that concludes our 10 things you can do on Voly in less than 1 minute. We hope you found that really useful. I'll just have a quick look in the chat and see whether we've got any questions in there. I can see there's one there currently, which is about that fleet beneficiaries. So somebody's interested by what sort of security there is around those beneficiaries. So in addition to sort of what you've seen in that audit trail for verifying the bank details, we can also put in place what we call beneficiary approval. So that means that if crew or an admin were to add a beneficiary, we can actually then send that for approval by a specific person or specific people before any funds can be sent to that supplier. So if you want one manager within your family office or management company to approve all beneficiaries before any money is sent, we can also put that in place. So that's another step. And we can do that on the asset suppliers as well. So that's not just for the brand new fleet management. That's existed for a long time on the asset level. Anna, I'm not sure if you've got any questions.
Yes, I can see a question regarding the cards and again, where you can use them. So our prepaid cards are accepted by all major retailers. Again, the only limitations that really are in place are ATM limitations. And then if that card is at a zero balance, if you are ever concerned about not being able to use the card as contactless, don't worry, you can actually add it to your Google and Apple wallet as well. So if it is you're having one card shared amongst several crew members, they can all have access to it in either the physical format or the virtual, and then they can all use that same card. Again, if you do have any further questions about that, please use the support functions mentioned, and we'll be more than happy to go over it in more detail for you.
Perfect. I've seen there's one last question, which is about which bank holidays we follow in the UK. So yes, we are a UK-based company, so we do follow the UK bank holidays. But you'll be pleased to hear we do have support from the client team in on all bank holidays. The only day that we don't is Christmas Day. That's the 25th of December, obviously. We even have people in on Boxing Day here in the UK. That's the 26th. So if you've got any Christmas charters and you're using our APA platform, we are here to help as well. That concludes the questions then, and therefore this webinar. The last thing I'd just like to share with you is a quick picture. So I'll just share this with you so you can see that our next webinar in a fortnight's time today is specifically about APA, and we do have that free trial on at the minute, so do get in touch. If that's something you're interested in, you can go on the website and sign up for it. From me, it's been a real pleasure to have you on here today, whether you are an existing client or you're thinking about onboarding with us. This will be a regular occurrence every fortnight, so thank you very much for your time today.
Yes, would just like to add on and say again, thank you all for joining, whether you are existing clients or new. If you are new, hopefully you are now very interested in our Voly systems and will be reaching out to our teams to inquire. Like I said, any outstanding questions after, please just follow up, whether it's with your client relationship manager or through hello@Voly, and we'll be more than happy to get in contact, and hopefully we'll see you at our next webinar.
Thank you. Bye, everybody. Bye.